a nephew, Werner G. Goering, who was a World War II bomber pilot in the European theater. Army records confirmed that Werner, a 21-year-old mighty 8th Army Air Force captain in early 1945, commanded 49 Flying Fortress combat missions over Nazi-occupied Europe, well beyond the 30 sorties that then constituted a lead pilot's tour of duty. He could have gone home by Christmas 1944, as most of his original crewmates did. But at the peak of the bloody air war, Werner signed on for a second tour with the British-based 303rd Bombardment Group, famed as the Hells Angels, one of America's most storied warrior fraternities and the single most active bomber group in the Army Air Force. He fought until the bitter end, the Nazi surrender on May 8, 1945. Among a fistful of other medals, he received the Distinguished Flying Cross, one of the nation's highest military decorations. Gary Moncur, the 303rd Bombardment Group's historian, and son of Captain Vern Moncur, a World War II Hells Angels pilot, features Werner's story on the unit's website, where a page is devoted to the irony of the Goering crew fighting against the Luftwaffe, led by Werner's infamous uncle, Hermann Goering. When I contacted him for information about Werner, Gary's reply was, "Good luck. I've never met, corresponded, nor spoken with him." Werner would have been 85, and Gary thought he was still alive. During the 65 years following the Nazi capitulation, Werner attended only one annual reunion of the Hells Angels in 1992 in Boise, Idaho, the hometown of his co-pilot, Lieutenant Jack Rancher. Goring's appearance was a singular tribute to his lifelong friend and co-pilot. He is the unit's reclusive, legendary specter and prodigal son, who served his country well beyond a full measure, and then seemed to vanish. It took months to reach Werner for a brief phone call. Taciturn and wary, he hated reporters. He didn't want to talk about the war or his family with a stranger, yet consented to meet if I was willing to come to Tucson. But, he warned, it will be a waste of your time and money, since I didn't do anything special and left the war behind a long time ago. Days later, while flying to meet the reclusive Goering, who avoided the spotlight for nearly 7 decades, it hit me that it was the chronological equivalent of meeting a Civil War veteran in 1930. He is among the very last of his peers, a man who saw and did things the world had never previously experienced, and never will again. He quietly carried the burden of his blood-soaked surname throughout the war and beyond, battled the Nazi war machine in the war's longest and deadliest battle for Americans, and was nearly assassinated by a suspicious U.S. government, even as the Luftwaffe was killing his comrades by the tens of thousands. Being an aloof, quiet loner and non-drinker didn't help. He avoided the officers' club, the center of World War II military social life, which just heightened the mystery surrounding the damn reservist American pilot with the infamous surname. What the hell was Werner Goering doing piloting an American heavy bomber over Germany? It was a question military and civilian intelligence had struggled with and prepared for, with extreme prejudice, if and when the need arose. Stephen Frater, Narragansett, Rhode Island, June 24, 2011. Is not God in the height of heaven? And behold, the height of the stars, how high they are! And thou sayest, How doth God know? Can he judge through the dark cloud? Thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh in the circuit of heaven. Job chapter 22, verse 12. For a long time we hated the idea of the heavy bomber. We now know that the champion